From America's breadbasket, our TBT doubleheader continues with one of the greatest rivalries in college sports, playing for a $2 million prize. It is the Kansas Alumni team versus the Kansas State Alumni squad, and the stars are out. Mario Chalmers and Michael Beasley leading their respective squads in a great showdown from Bramlage Coliseum. Welcome courtside to the Octagon of Doom alongside a former Jayhawk, Nick Baugh. I'm Chris Fosters. Let's take a look at the big picture of this tournament so far. This is the alumni portion of the TBT bracket, and there's some great rivalries across the landscape.
No doubt about it. And what's fun is these opening round matchups are best of 3 series, and Louisville and Kentucky all tied at 1 game apiece. Montrezl Harrell, 35 points last night for the Ville. Syracuse took care of business, and speaking of taking care of business, Wichita State, the defending TBT champs, took care of New Mexico last night by 22. They look fantastic.
Zooming in on our matchup tonight, it's a sunflower showdown when sunflowers are actually in season. And we mentioned the star power before, and here it is. Chalmers and Beasley going at it again.
How amazing is this? These are 2 college basketball legends and legends for KU and K-State. You look at Mario Chalmers hit the biggest shot in Kansas basketball history, lifting Kansas into overtime against Memphis, ultimately to a national championship. And then Michael Beasley authored one of the greatest freshman seasons we've ever seen in college basketball history. Video game type numbers, 26 and 12. TBT debuts for 2 college basketball legends.
They played over 300 times over the course of college basketball history. This is a growing rivalry in TBT basketball history as well. Kansas versus Kansas State. They meet again in game 1 of a best-of-3 series, with the winner keeping a $2 million TBT championship dream alive. In terms of apparel inside Bramlage Arena, it is a decisively pro Kansas State crowd, as you would expect. A big cheer for Michael Beasley as he was just announced as part of Purple Rain's starting lineup presented by We Them Ones. And Beasley has a one-of-one resume, but there are some very impressive former Wildcats in this lineup as well.
Yeah, Xavier Sneed is the guy that I got my eyes on. He's going to have to do a nice job defending these Jayhawk guards because they are electric, and there's a handful of them.
Let's take a look at the Jayhawks hoops starting lineup as well. Kansas's starting lineup for their alumni team, and Frank Mason III, a college player of the year in 2017. He anchors this starting 5.
And this is his 3rd TBT. As you said, it's the 2017 National Player of the Year. He looks like he's in great shape. He's got his game face on. Certainly when Kansas State is staring at you as a former Jayhawk, that'll get you rolling. This is going to be absolutely electric here in Bramlage Coliseum.
And a standing ovation from the crowd here as we get ready for tip-off. Jamari Traylor will take the tip for Jayhawks hoops against Austin Trice of Purple Rain. Xavier Sneed feeding off the energy of the crowd here. These 2 teams played in the 2nd round of TBT last year. And Jayhawks hoops won by just 2 points. We are underway with the Kansas Alumni squad winning the opening tip.
And look at this, Sneed on Mason right away. That was the matchup that we were expecting, and it's going to be a really good one.
Both players with NBA experience. Here is Zeke Mayo, the native of Lawrence. Played his final season of college basketball with the Jayhawks after a great career at South Dakota State. Played very well in TBT last year as well. Marcus Garrett drives, loses it on the end line, and it stays with Jayhawks hoops.
1.9 on that shot clock. You got to really communicate here if you're Kansas State. Played terrific defense, now you got to close it out.
Kevin Young with the inbound feed from Frank Mason Jr. and Michael Beasley with his first rebound of the game.
One of potentially 20 rebounds, which, by the way, he had 20 rebounds in his very first game in college. This guy is a rebounding machine.
His TBT debut, and the alley-oop goes to Xavier Sneed from Brandon Childress.
Walked over that set play and shoot-around, worked to perfection. Great X's and O's from Lance Harris, the Purple Rain head coach.
Frank Mason Jr. misses it in the lane. Beasley had the rebound for a second. Childress, a former Wake Forest Demon Deacon, running the point for Purple Rain. Each roster is allowed to have 4 non-alumni on its team. Got to use those spots carefully. Sneed with the turnaround J. He's got all 4 of Purple Rain's points.
Well, what a start for Kansas State. Set the tone defensively. Got a dunk and a jumper for Sneed.
Mayo off the heel, Childress the rebound. Purple Rain on the run. DeJuan Gordon stripped by Traylor. Good play by Traylor of the Kansas Alumni team.
That's a heck of an effort from Jamari Traylor. That looked like that was going to be a dunk, but didn't give up on the play.
Traylor played for the Jayhawks from 2012 to 2016. Kevin Young coughs it up. Loose ball scooped up by Mason. Shot clock does not reset. And the block out of bounds. Beasley and Trice giving Purple Rain some size.
Alley-oop right out the gates. Looking like it's going to be a pin down, and instead Sneed backdoors it. Mayo gets caught peeking. Great execution, and you never know what that's going to look like for these teams that are somewhat thrown together in just a couple of weeks.
Out of bounds, it is Purple Rain ball.
You can feel the crowd is into this thing for the Wildcats right now. Got Kansas on their heels, where Frank Mason needs to settle everybody down in the half court.
This is game 1 of a best-of-3 series. Game 2 will be played tomorrow in Topeka inside Lee Arena on the campus of Division II Washburn. But game 3, if it gets there, will be right back here inside Bramlage Coliseum. Beasley, alley-oop, Trice! Holy smokes!
What a play from Michael Beasley, who was so vocal at shoot-around. Attacks and throws the lob.
Austin Trice on the receiving end. One-year Wildcat, 2018-19, the Big 12 championship season for K-State. There's a foul underneath on DeJuan Gordon of Purple Rain, his first, the team's first.
Well, watch Beasley, just a little slip screen, and then he's ripping and going. And ultimately, when Beasley's got ahead of steam, he's going to attract a lot of attention, and he is a willing passer. That was a nice lob from Michael Beasley. I'm just fascinated to see how Kansas goes about defending that guy right there. You got Kevin Young on him now. Could you see Marcus Garrett slide over, giving up some size? But certainly Marcus Garrett was the 2020 National Defensive Player of the Year. You come with some double teams. You'd imagine head coach Sharon Collins and assistant coach Tyshawn Taylor are going to have a lot of decisions to make on how to handle Beasley.
And watching Purple Rain shoot around this afternoon, Beasley well aware of the attention he's going to get in this game, and he knows he's going to have open teammates.
He's dealt with it his whole career. The second he arrived here in his freshman year and burst onto the scene, averaging 26 a game, he's getting double teamed pretty much ever since.
Good start for the Kansas State alumni squad on its home floor. Beasley in and off the square.
You could draw up a better start for Purple Rain right now.
And that continues. Sneed on the fast break. Childress, wing, 3, short. Rebound batted out, and Beasley eventually has it and draws the foul.
Beasley barking at the KU bench. He is jacked up. And you wondered what kind of a mindset Beasley would have. You and I were at shoot-around. Did he stop talking? he did not stop talking the entire shoot-around. Locked in. You can tell he really, really cares about showing out for K-State.
Well, his one season with Kansas State, 2007-2008, the Wildcats beat the Jayhawks here for the first time in the history of Bramlage Coliseum. This place opened in 1988. Wildcats didn't beat the Jayhawks until the Michael Beasley season here on their home court.
And then Beasley lost at Allen Fieldhouse, but he had 39 on the Jayhawks.
Beasley defending Mason out of bounds. It stays with Jayhawks hoops. Beasley asking for a sub right now. He jammed his hand or his wrist on that play.
He's holding his right hand. Hopefully he's all right.
Zeke Mayo, a deep three. It's an air ball. Billy Preston catches it underneath for Jayhawks hoops. Preston drives inside and lays it in.
Supremely talented player. He was a McDonald's All-American. I think this is a good game for him. It's a good matchup for him. They need his size and versatility. And ultimately, when a team's pressuring you, sometimes you got to have a guy that just goes and makes a one-on-one play, and Preston can do that.
Beasley for three. He's heating up.
Man. Michael Beasley, welcome to the TBT.
There has been a Kansas State alumni team in TBT every year since 2016. Now, the COVID year, 2020, is the exception to that, but this is Beasley's first time suiting up in TBT for Purple Rain. Went by purple and black earlier in their TBT history as well.
No
Preston,
movement.
three on the shot clock, loses it.
Just stagnant possessions right now for KU.
7 points, 2 boards already for Michael Beasley. Short from deep, Mason the rebound. Jayhawks hoops a 3-on-2. Mason swirls it in.
That's a good place to explore. You're struggling in the half court with the pressure. Go push in the open floor, see if you can't get an easy one, especially for Frank Mason, who's got to put his fingerprints on this thing, scoring the rock.
Beasley's pass out of bounds in the direction of Austin Trice. Well, the Stars are here, and this game has come with fireworks as well, Nick.
What a start for Kansas State. You'd expect them to be locked in, and they have been just that. With a lob to Xavier Sneed upstairs, rocks the rim, and then Beasley driving and creating. Got a good one here in the Little Apple.
TBT is brought to you by Weave M1s, official partner of TBT. Shoot your shot with Blue Chew Gold. They're number one for a reason. A rivalry renewed TBT style this summer as Purple Rain, the Kansas State alumni team, meets JHX Hoops, the Kansas alumni team. And that dude right there, Michael Beasley, well, he's been a dude already.
Absolutely, just stuffing the stat sheet. 7 points, 2 rebounds, 2 blocks, 1 assist, 1 steal. And just an amazing start for Kansas State here. This guy's really set the tone, though. Sneed on Mason in the half court has really given KU some problems.
Frank Mason III has ditched the headband. Billy Preston has 5 quick points off the bench for JHX Hoops.
He can shoot. He is really talented. Now he's matched up with Michael Beasley, but Preston off the bench has made his presence felt right away.
Purple Rain going to its bench as well, but Xavier Sneed still on the floor, and he's got 7 points. Jacob Hanna has checked into the game for the first time for JHX Hoops. He dishes to Preston, who's blocked by Beasley. Beasley's 3rd block, and it stays on this end.
And you said it, 3rd block already from Beasley. He's done a nice job disrupting things at the 10.
It's, sharing an embrace with Billy Preston.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
It was a friendly smile from Beasley.
Preston is 10 years younger than Beasley. Here's Mason now, shaking off contact. Zeke Mayo, drive and kick. Hanna, a little bit strong. And the rebound pulled in by John Florvius. Here's Beasley. He is going to the free throw line. That hand is still bothering him a little bit.
A guy like Beasley just knows how to score. He knows when to take chances to leak out there on a contest of a 3. He just runs out, gets ahead of the pack. Great throw-ahead pass. And now he's at the free throw line. I mean, you're talking about one of the greatest freshman seasons in the history of college basketball.
It led to him being drafted 2nd overall in the 2008 draft. I want to remind you, Purple Rain and JHX Hoops fans, show your TBT pride with Purple Rain and JHX Hoops merchandise. Shop now at thetournament.com and represent your team all tournament long. You know, it kind of kick-started an era for Kansas State.
No question.
After a long time not ever beating Kansas, you can point to Michael Beasley's season in 2007, 2008, where Kansas State has really evened out the rivalry against Kansas.
Yeah, and sparked a heck of a decade for Kansas State as well in the 2010s.
Zeke Mayo is going to the free throw line.
Feels like slowly but surely KU's settled in the half court. Started to be able to actually execute, not get pressed out. And it can be challenging. We've done this tournament for a couple years, Chris. Figuring out what sets you're running, different roles, can be a work in progress, to put it politely, for these teams as they begin.
But both of these teams have key returners from last year's TBT squad, including Zeke Mayo, who dropped 14 points against Purple Rain in the 2nd round of TBT last year. Cartier Jada is on the court for Purple Rain. Now Sean Williams hits the 3.
That's a confident shot from Williams.
Williams played for K-State from 2018 to 2020. On the pick and roll, Preston with the dump down to Carlton Bragg Jr. He runs into Florvius, who's providing good defense off the bench. Beasley throws it away. We mentioned that these two teams played in round 2 of TBT last year. There is a tweak to the format this year. It's not single elimination in the first round like it was in every TBT up to this year. So this is a series.
Yes.
Between Kansas and Kansas State. You got to win best of 3 to move on to the next round, after which it will be single elimination the rest of the way. Tradeon Hollins. Jacob Hanna on the floor with Andrew Orr, number 25 for JHX Hoops, both Division II stars at nearby Washburn. Preston is stripped. Sneed fouled hard by Preston. And he wasn't happy about it.
You know, sometimes those little walkovers like that when a guy goes down are intentional. I really think that wasn't intentional. Take another look at it. I might be wrong. Collision. And I think Sneed getting up quickly made it seem more malicious than it actually was. But come on now, it's a Wildcat and a Jayhawk. They're going to get in a tussle here at some point.
And again, this isn't one and done. These guys are going to see each other tomorrow as well. Jada, and a foul called there on Hollins.
Sharon Collins trusting going into his bench, whether it's Tradeon Hollins, who was the 2-time Summit League Defensive Player of the Year at Omaha. You talked about the 2 Washburn guys, coached by former Jayhawk Brett Ballard. A very successful run at Washburn for Coach Ballard and these 2 guys in Hanna and Orr. That bench can make a difference, especially the starters were a little flat for KU.
Sneed stripped. Good play by Hollins on the help side D.
That's his calling card. I watched Hollins play in high school. He has done that his whole basketball career. He knows how to be disruptive defensively.
And he throws that one off the glass and draws the foul. Hollins, product out of Omaha Central High School, making an impact off the bench here.
Had a really nice career for Nebraska Omaha's. The all-time steals leader. You got a lot of guys that won Defensive Player of the Year honors on this Kansas alumni team, whether it's obviously Marcus Garrett, National Player of the Year. Mario Chalmers was a co-Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. And Jacob Hanna was the MIAA Defensive Player of the Year, and we talked about Tradeon Hollins. So clearly, guys know a thing or two about defense, but I think Kansas State's defense has looked better early here.
Hollins misses both free throws. Williams up the floor, calling out the set for Purple Rain. Sneed has been an impact already. Florvius puts it back in.
Florvius is big, 6'11", strong, and that's his identity on this team.
Garrett, that's a blocking foul on Sneed.
Keep in mind he gets 6 fouls to foul out in the TBT.
This was a hard collision.
Looked like Sneed was sliding right at the end there. I think that's the right call.
Should mention too, thinking back to the Florvius putback for Purple Rain a moment ago, you can play the ball off the cylinder in TBT games, unlike college basketball games. It's FIBA goaltending rules.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a hybrid. You got the international FIBA rule, but then most of this, the rules are college rules. But it's a good call, Chris, because that could reveal itself. Wow.
Well, that was through the cylinder, courtesy of Jacob Hanna.
Bouncy. Pressure defense, a good thing to do. Backdoor it. Nice play from Hanna.
Hanna, again, the D2 star from just down the road in Topeka, playing in his second TBT. Final seconds of the first quarter here. Jada working on Hollins. Jada with the left hand. A 10-point lead for Kansas State at the break. This is the best Purple Rain roster in TBT history, and they're playing like it. Here's a look at the TBT landscape this year. As we mentioned, the alumni bracket largely taking place in the eastern half of the country, and then Las Vegas, the home of the Vegas Open bracket, the 6 non-alumni teams that have entered the tournament as well. The TBT championship game this year will be a matchup between the alumni bracket winner and the Vegas Open winner. That'll take place on August 2nd. The pot is bigger, and we love the alumni bracket in particular because host sites get to bring out their fans in the middle of summer.
And it's a great wrinkle. The best of 3 series in the opening round is fantastic. There's some strategy, and the non-alumni that you have on your roster, you're only allowed to have 4. That is a Kansas alum. How about that? Mario Chalmers.
Did not play in the first quarter. He is set to make his TBT debut to start the second quarter. Now 40 years young. His stellar 3-year career in Lawrence culminated in the 2008 National Championship. The win over Memphis, where of course he hit the game-tying 3-pointer with 2 seconds to go in regulation to force overtime against that Derrick Rose-led Memphis squad. This is Marcus Garrett. Up and under.
Wow. And that's Garrett's game offensively. He's not really a perimeter shooter, but he is long and crafty driving to the basket. What a step through.
Jada for 3. Garrett the rebound. You thought Purple Rain played really well in the first.
I really did. I thought Xavier Sneed and Michael Beasley set the tone.
Here's Chalmers. Saved by Orr, intercepted by Sneed. Sneed hooks it out. Jada push pass. Orr guards Williams. And Jada draws the foul. And Mario Chalmers into the stat sheet with a personal foul.
Chalmers frustrated on the other end. I think he felt like he got fouled. There was no call, and then he gets a body foul there. And Sharon Collins trying to plead his case to the officials.
Florvia sits for Purple Rain, and that dump pass taken right away by Marcus Garrett. Tries to Euro step around Snead, and he gets the job done.
Nice response here from KU.
6-point lead for Kansas State. Williams around and out. Loose ball. Austin Trice misses the putback. Here's Super Mario. Hannah, too strong. And Hannah fouls Xavier Snead, who got hit hard. Incidental contact, but a physical play.
Now Michael Beasley checks back into the game. Now all of a sudden the whole equation changes, in particular on this end of the floor for KU.
Beasley and Chalmers split their regular season series as foes in college, the 2007-08 season, but then, of course, were teammates with the Miami Heat in the NBA. Trice elevated and lost the handle.
Good late help from Kevin Young. Gamblin getting off of Beasley in the corner.
This is Hannah, baseline cut off. Kevin Young back on the floor. DeJuan Gordon tips that pass. And it's Purple Rain ball.
The turnovers have been an issue early on for KU here. You figured with the abundance of guards that they'd be able to handle the ball.
Here's Beasley, 7 first quarter points, instant impact, and he gets the and one chance now.
If I'm Lance Harris, the Kansas State head coach, don't get bored with going right back to that time and time again. Just not sure there's anybody in the TBT that can deal with this guy one-on-one with any room. And as we've seen already, he's a willing passer.
Billy Preston just picked up his 3rd foul. Beasley now with 10 points, 37 years old, still playing at a high level in professional 3-on-3 basketball. Won the league championship with the Miami 305 squad. Foul here is on Sean Williams. I think Beasley might have thought the foul was called on him. That's number 2 on Williams. Or top of the key 3 with a strong.
Preston's got to be careful not pick up another foul.
As you said, you get 6, but we're not that close to halftime to have 3. Gordon in trouble.
Good
Williams
cut.
bails him out and lays it in.
Excellent cut. And since his teammate was in trouble, really, really good activity away from the ball.
Preston. Impressive game for a guy who's 6'10". Beasley with the answer. Impressive game for a guy who's 6'9".
Yes. How much fun is this? It's Michael Beasley repping K-State, putting on a show early.
Too strong for Frank Mason. Well, right after it was a 6-point lead for Kansas State, you thought Kansas got off to a good 2nd quarter start. It's now Purple Rain's biggest lead of the night. Preston handling the ball here.
Too much dribbling. Preston can't get baited into a one-on-one match with Beasley.
DeJuan Gordon gives Mason a hard time, and it's a 1-on-0 for Sean Williams. Timeout, Kansas. The lead for Kansas State has ballooned to 14, and it really is starting to feel like the octagon of doom for Jayhawks hoops. Well, we've seen what Michael Beasley brings on the court, and he brings a lot of emotional energy and leadership on the bench as well.
Yeah, and that's something Lance Harris raved about, saying that his leadership has really, and his voice has really been impactful. There's Lance Harris there.
Lance Harris, a overseas champion, now coaching for Dubai Basketball of EuroLeague renown. Harris was a four-year star for Kansas State from 2003 to 2007, right before Michael Beasley's time. And he said that Michael Beasley has earned the respect of the Purple Rain roster, and he said vice versa.
He said there were some healthy discussions and dialogue between Beasley and Lance Harris for everybody to get on the same page.
Here's a stat I know you'll like, Nick, for Kansas State, 8 assists on 13 field goals.
Really good.
Another turnover for Jayhawks hoops.
Too much dribbling at times.
Beasley loses it, but a lucky bounce for Abayomi Ijiola. Into the game for the first time for Kansas State. It stays on Purple Rain's side of the floor.
Everybody for Kansas State has done a really good job defending the basketball one-on-one.
Ijiola is fouled by Carlton Bragg. That's Bragg's second.
Fouls racking up for KU.
Ijiola playing in his third TBT. One of the more recent Kansas State players on the roster. Played one season for the Wildcats, 22-23 campaign. And there is Tiante Robertson checking into the game for the first time for Purple Rain, one of their 4 non-Kansas State players, portal players, if you will.
Even the portal is making its way to the TBT. Can't escape it anywhere.
You can't escape it, exactly. It's inevitable. In the lane, Williams is whistled for the foul. No, he's not, but a foul on Purple Rain. The foul is against Brandon Childress. Not on Williams for the steal attempt, but they said Childress was holding his man inside.
Frank Mason's got to get going. On paper, he's got to be the guy to lead the charge for this team. He's just not been able to get into a rhythm. Another turnover.
Bragg fell down. Beasley running the floor. Childress for 3. In and out. Mayo the rebound. Here's Zeke Mayo. And he slips.
Might have been a wet spot on the floor.
Beasley. Williams.
Zeke Mayo calling for
referee's timeout to mop up that wet spot.
And how impressive has Purple Rain been? Defense leading to offense and making things easy for them. Making it efficient. It's been Dunk City here in the Little Apple in Manhattan. Multiple guys rocking the rim. It's all K-State early in this one.
Look at the lead for Purple Rain, the Kansas State Alumni team. Getting to the late stages of the second quarter, 18 points over the Kansas Alumni team. Game 2 of this best-of-3 series tomorrow from Lee Arena in Topeka. Look at the winner-take-all Game 3 between the Louisville and Kentucky Alumni teams. That game will take place tomorrow on FS1 from historic Memorial Coliseum in Lexington, Kentucky. Tomorrow on YouTube, play begins in the Vegas Open bracket, the non-alumni bracket. Davis Steele, keep an eye on that squad, formerly known as Eberline Drive, went all the way to the championship game last year and lost to the Wichita State alumni team. Great action across the TBT landscape all week long. But Nick, looking at this game between JHX Hoops and Purple Rain, 10 turnovers for the Kansas alumni team.
And 10 steals for Kansas State. And so the disruption defensively, leading to live ball turnovers and runouts, has just really been problematic for KU. But you got to credit K-State. You think about the tone that was set from Xavier Sneed on early in this game with his on-ball pressure. I think just got the party started for everybody on that K-State roster.
It sure did. There was a standing ovation at tip-off. This overwhelming Kansas State sympathetic crowd, and of course Kansas State fans are saying, well duh, it's in Bramlage Coliseum, but it's impressive to see all the purple here. Purple Rain indeed. Frank Mason III has got 2 games in his TBT career of 20 or more points. He has gotten it going in this format before. Here's Zeke Mayo. And the rebound pulled in by Bragg over Beasley.
Good offense. It's funny when you run good offense and shots are in the rhythm of the offense, you're in good offensive rebounding position. It's a great little crackback play to get Mayo a 3. He misses it, but you got the cleanup.
Dump down low, Igiola. Too strong. Trailer pulls in the rebound. Mayo, paint touch, and out to Hannah. Trailer swirls that one down.
Important final 3 minutes here to close this half, just for momentum. It feels like Kansas State has dominated this game. But if KU wins on a surge, you can feel pretty good about yourself going into the second half.
Beasley asking for a foul. Off the shot fake, blocked underneath. Jacob Hannah. A smart foul by Childress. He picks up his second.
A lot of contact on that drive from Beasley. You said it though, that was a smart foul, as there was numbers for KU.
Yeah, KU hasn't proven that they can hit their shots yet. Trailer in and out. Mason the offensive rebound. Kansas now just 2 of 9 from 3-point range. Trailer stripped by Childress. Great play. Here's Sneed. Childress, Beasley. Wide left.
There's no balance there for Beasley.
Intercepted. Another steal for Childress.
Unbelievable.
Beasley in the lane for Sneed.
I've really been impressed with Beasley's passing. He has had great instinctual touch passes in a variety of situations. And he's a scorer, but he's got good feel all around.
12 turnovers for JHX Hoops. Almost a 13th, but it went off the ankle of Florvius.
This is instincts, Chris. Just understanding where your teammates are. Watch how quick it's in and out of his hands. Boom, right to Sneed, down the middle of the floor. High IQ play to a high flyer in Xavier Sneed. This is when the turnovers have happened. Just a lot of dribbling, stagnant, now late clock. Ooh, man.
Tough foul against Purple Rain Xavier Sneed. That's his second.
.3. There was .3 left on the shot clock.
And Sneed, an excellent defender, so he feels that call was not warranted.
When that ball is stuck for KU and they've started pounding it, that's when the ball pressure gets up into the offensive player, and that's when the helper's getting those gaps, and it's led to steals for K-State.
Sneed received the Jack Hartman Top Defensive Player Award from his teammates, from his team, the year Kansas State won the Big 12 in 2019. So
he had a heck of a career here for K-State. He was on that Elite 8 team in 2018.
Mayo throws it out. Preston, strong. And a foul.
Wow. I'm not sure I saw that the way the refs did.
Wow, it's on Purple Rain's John Florvius.
Like Florvius just was having a good, clean block out on Traylor. But it goes to show you, Traylor was relentless trying to get the ball. It's going to be the bottom right part of your screen if you can see it. A lot of hand fighting, but that's a tough one on Florvius. It also goes to show you that when you are physical and relentless and trying to get rebounds, you can draw fouls like Traylor did.
4 points for Traylor now. Our officials, Johnny Wilkins, John Jenkins Jr., and Jarrett Howell. These games are tough to officiate. The rules are a blend of different facets of the game. You've got guys coming back to the U.S. after overseas seasons, or 3-on-3 seasons perhaps. Childress loses it. Hollins. Mason out to Preston. Shot clock is off.
Now you probably want to hold for one.
Preston takes the shot off balance. Not a good look. And now Purple Rain can play for the final shot of the half. 5 seconds left. Childress, Williams, 3-ball, short. And Kansas State takes a 14-point lead into the locker room at halftime, 39-25.
Very impressive first half from Purple Rain. The stars were shining. Sneed and Beasley led the way. But it's a best of 3, and we still got that ending looming, so don't go anywhere.
They walk off the floor together to the locker room at halftime. Michael Beasley, the show. 13 points in the first half to lead Purple Rain to a 14-point lead. Game 1, best of 3, Kansas State. Still hope for a house divided. That's good to see. Kansas State leads Kansas 39-25 in Game 1 of TBT. Saturday night, it's baseball night on Fox. And this week, the game's biggest superstars take center stage as Shohei Ohtani leads the Dodgers against Juan Soto and the Mets. Or Mariners Rangers, Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox. Well, the Dodgers ceded best record in baseball to the Milwaukee Brewers last night, who are playing Juan Soto and the Mets currently. Long way to go until the postseason, but a great Saturday night matchup for you on Fox. Not bad for a Tuesday night either. Pass the popcorn. Kansas State and Kansas entertaining us. TBT back in a moment. Crowd was on its feet at the start for Kansas versus Kansas State TBT style. Now they're resting, recharging their batteries as Purple Rain looks to take a 1-0 lead in this best-of-3 series against the Kansas Alumni team. $2 million on the line and a wonderful rivalry renewed on the basketball court. Wonderful atmosphere inside Bramlage Coliseum as Kansas State leads Kansas 39-25 in Game 1 of TBT. Welcome back courtside. Great to be with you alongside Nick Bach. Chris Foster's on hand. Nick, you know this rivalry very well. You played on Bill Self's first 2 Kansas Jayhawks rosters, and we're going to go back into the archives.
Oh, my.
You haven't aged today, my friend. The shorts have changed.
The shorts are baggy. That was the look back in the day. But, yeah, it was an absolute honor to put Kansas across the chest. It was the dream school growing up, and it was amazing to play for a guy like Bill Self and get his time started in Lawrence. And certainly that rivalry, whether it be against Missouri or certainly against Kansas State, you could really feel what that was like for KU.
Where would you start if you're Jayhawks hoops? There's head coach Sharon Collins and general manager Tyshawn Taylor. Those guys aren't available, unfortunately, for Kansas fans, but here's a look at the first half stats. They leave something to be desired.
Well, to me, it starts with taking care of the ball. That's really what stands out. 12 steals for Kansas State in that first half, 15-5, plus 10 points off turnovers in favor of Purple Rain, and a lot of it was, some of it self-inflicted stuff with a lot of dribbling and things getting stagnant. But reality is, Frank Mason and Zeke Mayo got to get going. Those are the 2 guys that got to score. They were combined 1 for 8 in the first half for 5 points. The Stars shine for K-State. Beasley had 13, Snead had 9. And the Stars didn't shine for KU early.
Early foul on Dwan Gordon of Purple Rain.
Michael Beasley was just ridiculous in that first half. 13 points, 3 blocks, 3 assists. He was unbelievable.
That's a travel on Jamari Traylor, and so a turnover right away to start the third quarter.
The physicality. Kansas State's been able to do both. They've been able to heat up the ball, but they've also had guys in the gaps disrupting things. Just been an impressive defensive performance from K-State.
Last year's TBT game was low scoring and decided by just 2 points. 59-57, Kansas eliminated Kansas State from TBT in the second round last year. Xavier Snead is into double figures, now at 12.
4th assist for Beasley, just another great play. And his passing has really stood out.
Kevin Young for 3. That's a good start for Jayhawks hoops.
Not totally his game. He's more of an energy guy, defense, rebounding. If you're going to get dared to shoot, you're going to have to step up and knock down a few.
Beasley, a little bit strong off the heel. Trice with the box out on Traylor, but Mason comes up with it. Young strong.
Good contest from Beasley. Now he's ahead of the pack.
Baseline, tied up underneath, and a foul on Young.
It's the second time he's done that, Chris, where he's contested a 3 and then just ran out ahead of the pack. And both times have ended in fouls. His hands have gotten beat up today, but he's smart. He's going right through the contact. His intelligence has impressed me, and that's what's so interesting as you watch these players as they get older. Sometimes they get smarter. I think you're seeing that with Beasley.
Beasley played 11 seasons in the NBA. Early on in his career with Minnesota, he had a season where he averaged almost 20 points per game. Had a lengthy overseas career that included a successful stint in China. And still in the gym on a regular basis.
Yes.
Again, in great shape, playing 3-on-3.
Yeah, he's still got some basketball in him, that's for sure. He looks terrific. And he has played terrific here tonight.
Mason covered up by Sneed. Young sets a concrete screen. Zeke Mayo in and out, has not found his jumper tonight. Beasley leaks out.
Just poor defensive balance, but once again, it's Beasley on the contest, and Beasley takes off. Gotta have it.
Mason's got it. Just his second field goal of the game, both from 3.
Both of them have been transition threes, too. He's had a hard time in the half court shaking free.
Purple Rain had a substantial lead in the second half last year against JHX hoops. Actually, the tide turned when Tyshawn Taylor checked into the game. Hannah with the contested finish.
Not going to get that. Tyshawn Taylor not even in uniform.
No,
but
not going to happen tonight. Here's Hannah.
you know, when you've been turning the ball over, you think going faster might not be the right move, but I think that's what KU needs to do. Another turnover. When they've gotten bogged down in the half court, that's when they've turned the ball over.
Xavier Sneed lines it up and is fouled on a second chance opportunity. It's going against Hannah.
Well, again, keep in mind, this is game one of a best of three, so there's some strategy involved as this game progresses. Long way still to go, especially with that Elam ending, but it'll be interesting to see for head coach Sharon Collins how much he wants to throw some different things out. If this was a single elimination, you'd be throwing zone out, you'd be throwing a bunch of different things to try to change the complexion. It'd be interesting to see if he wants to keep some of that stuff in his back pocket for game number 2. And again, it's still early, and you're only down 12.
Exactly, and I think to emphasize, you're only down 12 as Sneed hits the first free throw, because we've seen time and time again in the Elam ending, teams can come back from large deficits because it's just a different way that you have to close out a game as the leading team.
Yeah, sometimes when you have a big deficit, you just aren't going to have enough time to erase that deficit. The clock turns off. So as long as you keep on getting stops, you are going to have all the time in the world. So with that Elam ending looming, this could get interesting.
Frank Mason, the third, unable to finish the layup. Ball scooped ahead to DeJuan Gordon, and he turns it over to Zeke Mayo.
Great play from Mario Chalmers. That gets the layup. Chalmers, excellent hands. He averaged 2.6 steals per game in 2008. Showing you why there. Great play from Chalmers.
Timeout, Kansas State. Just a 30-second timeout for Lance Harris's squad. We'll be right back. Kansas State at the bottom of the alumni bracket. All of these games in round one, all these matchups in round one are best of 3 series. Louisville, Kentucky, that is going to be a barn burner in Lexington tomorrow. Winner take all, moves on to the next round.
Yeah, Syracuse took care of business against Seton Hall. Cole Swider was fantastic for the Cuse. The Aftershocks, the 2025 TBT champs, looked like a machine last night, taking down New Mexico in game 1.
Preston the rebound off the Williams miss. Kansas and Kansas State have had alumni teams in TBT for a long time. Kansas State first entered a squad all the way back in 2016, just the 3rd year of TBT. Kansas's first alumni team was 2019, then they took a little bit of a break, came back in 2023. Mayo is going to the free throw line.
Maybe the free throw line will be where he finds his rhythm. He has struggled to get his shot going from outside. Sometimes the free throw line, you see it go through the hoop a couple of times, and you can exhale and you feel pretty good about yourself. He's yet to make a field goal. He's knocked down 2 free throws earlier in the game. See if this can now get him rolling again.
Short for Mayo. Purple Rain and Jayhawks Hoops fans, show your TBT pride with official Purple Rain and Jayhawks Hoops merchandise. Shop now at thetournament.com and represent your team all tournament long. 1 for 2 for Mayo. Had a good season in the G League last year with the Cleveland Charge.
Yes.
Tradeon Hollins checks back in for Kansas.
Trying to get the ball to Beasley if you're Kansas State.
He's open in the corner. Offensive foul against Xavier Sneed. That's his 3rd.
Chalmers doing a little chirping himself. A little bit of a crafty move. There, Chalmers baiting him into getting physical and times it up right as he lowers it into the chest, takes it. Smart from Super Mario.
And a kick ball. Chalmers and Beasley teammates on the Miami 305 3-on-3 team.
And we're teammates for the Miami Heat as well, so know each other extremely well.
Chalmers still scoreless on TBT hardwood. Four to shoot for Preston. Steps through, but didn't get enough elevation. Quarterbacked by Beasley to Sneed. Williams off glass.
Really athletic pass from Beasley. He kind of got caught in the air, but was able to fire it to Sneed.
Williams becomes the 3rd Purple Rain player into double figures. There's a foul on the aforementioned Sean Williams, and that will send us to break. Sneed and Chalmers still rehashing that play on the other end of the floor. Kansas State holding on to a lead by a baker's dozen as the antics continue. Kansas State rocking on and rocking out here inside Bramlage Coliseum. It's getting a little close to Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Can't say that when you're talking about Kansas State. Here's a look at what's coming up tomorrow on FS1. More alumni games. Louisville, Kentucky. That is a decisive winner-take-all game 3 to move on in TBT. Also on YouTube, the Vegas Open portion of the TBT bracket tips off. Any of these teams in particular drawing your attention?
Yeah, and obviously the Davis Steel, certainly I'll have my eye on them. Heartfire has been a staple, but they're kind of a combination. They've merged. Those teams that have been a part of the TBT experience matters. So those two teams in particular, I got my eye on tomorrow.
There are 6 teams in the Vegas Open bracket, 2 groups of 3. They will have a pool play format in the opening round. Like on the alumni bracket side, it's best of 3. A little bit of change to the TBT format this year. That is a foul on Michael Beasley. I've got that as his first in his TBT career.
I don't think Beasley stopped talking since shoot-around. Since shoot-around at noon today here in Bramlage. He came in talking, he left talking, he's talked the entire game. He's talked to the refs, the crowd, to Sharon Collins, to everybody on the floor.
He played against Sharon Collins in the Big 12. Mayo is 5 for 6 at the free throw line now, still looking for his first shot from the floor of the game.
KU's winning this quarter, so they just got to keep chipping away at this thing.
Foul goes against Carlton Bragg. Your conventional logic or knowledge of TBT says that if you're down by less than 10 at the start of the Elam ending,
you're in it.
You're in it. It's game on. Trice. Tough look off the glass.
Great execution. Lance Harris deserves some credit. He's gotten these guys to play with purpose, play together.
Preston open for 3. And the big fella knocks it down. He's got 10.
Beasley's got to understand that Preston can't shoot. He may be big, but you got to get out there and close the airspace.
Preston is the Kansas Alumni team's leading scorer tonight.
Talented guy, was a McDonald's All-American out of high school. He is drenched in ability.
Trice back-to-back buckets. He and Beasley have been in sync.
Absolutely.
Another good pass, another assist for Beasley.
I have been very impressed with Beasley's feel and passing.
5 dimes for Bees. Under 10 to shoot. Mason stripped by Sneed. Here's a 3-on-1. Sneed, nifty pass. Beasley the finish from Williams. That's good basketball.
Technical foul on Beasley after that exchange. Once again, Xavier Sneed with great on-ball defense leads to the run-out. Watch as a little 3-on-1, and watch Beasley's gonna little bump to Tradeon Hollins. Easy technical foul. I don't even think Beasley's necessarily arguing it.
And now Beasley is being escorted away from the Kansas bench.
And Beasley's got to be careful here, not pick up that second tee. That's where I think Kansas might be trying to bait him a little bit. And he's a guy whose emotions rev high.
Jayhawks Hoops doesn't believe that this has been adjudicated harshly enough against Purple Rain. Beasley talking to the scorers table.
I told you he's talking to everybody. Everybody is welcome to a conversation with Michael Beasley. Yeah, he's yet to talk to us.
I'm starting to feel left out. There's the technical free throw for Zeke Mayo.
Just keep those eyes forward. He walks by, you just make eye contact. You're gonna bring him over here.
So Mayo working his way towards double digits at the free throw line. Beasley's going to cool down a little bit on the bench.
Just a vital stretch of basketball here. It's going to shape what this thing's going to look like. Is the Elam ending going to be within striking distance for KU, or is K-State going to push it out?
Wow, the lid is just on the bucket for Zeke Mayo. Cartier Jada. Mayo helps force the turnover. Hannah, a 3-on-1. Preston, layup.
Good sprint from Billy Preston. Understood that he needed to really stride it out, get ahead of the pack, and allow Hannah to drop it down to him.
DeJuan Gordon in the corner. Draws Mayo. Good contest. Here we go. Chance to make it a single-digit deficit.
Absolutely.
Mayo wide right. Gordon on the wing. Skims the rim. Preston the rebound.
There's some quick threes from Gordon.
Hannah.
Nice.
This is
And stretch. It all started with that technical foul from Beasley.
closest this game has been since the score was 26-17. Final minute of the third quarter. Tyshawn Taylor urging Jacob Hannah on. Let's go to the TBT landscape again. Host sites. You and I were in Wichita last night. We'll be in Topeka tomorrow. The Game 3 finale in the Louisville, Kentucky series is in Lexington tomorrow. Boeheim's Army getting ready to host the Seton Hall alumni team up in Syracuse. And of course, the Las Vegas Open bracket starts tomorrow. 6 teams in the Open bracket in Las Vegas. The alumni champion meets the non-alumni champion for the championship on August 2nd. Remember, $2 million on the line, up from last year's $1 million jackpot.
And the alumni team will host the non-alumni team. So
that's
love
right.
the new format. I love the tweaks.
Home court advantage belongs to La Familia.
Yep.
So
Followed
if
by
they
the Ville, and then Aftershocks, and then Kansas State, and then KU.
it's kind of the hierarchy, but if Kentucky's alumni team stays in the field, they will host the rest of the tournament.
Which makes a difference. That's what happened last year for the Aftershocks. They played all their games last year en route for a championship inside their home arena. And it made a big, big impact. Now, very interesting moment in this game. It feels like Kansas State has really controlled everything, but you look up and KU is right there.
Williams from the extended elbow.
A good timeout and a good set. That's smart from Lance Harris. You needed a timeout to stem the tide and get a good possession.
Mayo, tough shot over Florvius, and that's the first field goal for Zeke.
Again, he got a couple of free throws to go down, and now a tough one will fall away.
Again, 14 points against Purple Rain last year. Second-year TBT vet now. Final seconds of the third. Childress, Rainbow well short. Hannah almost hit the underside of the Jumbotron at Bramlage Coliseum. Kansas won the quarter. And Michael Beasley and Kansas State will try and steady themselves as we go to the fourth quarter and Elam ending. Weekdays on FS1, Sharp Minds, talking everything that matters. Wake Up Barstool, The Herd, and First Things First. It's sports talk that never lets up. Weekdays on FS1, no brainer. All right, so on the one hand, Kansas State leads Kansas going into the fourth quarter. And on the other hand, it feels like JHX Hoops has momentum for the first time.
Once upon a time, with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in the second quarter, Kansas State led by 18 and felt like they were in complete control of this thing. And slowly but surely, KU's hung around in a nice third quarter, and it's down to 8. And with that Elam ending looming, it seems like we got ourselves a ball game.
Quick foul here to start the fourth quarter. Jacob Hanna.
Sorry, Chris. It'd be interesting to see when Lance Harris comes back with Michael Beasley, because when Beasley's been on the floor, he has been unbelievably productive.
18 points and 5 assists for Michael Beasley. Cartier Jada. Tough shot short. Hanna skies for the rebound.
You said it. That's a tough shot. KU is taking the crowd out of this thing, too.
Mayo out to Hanna. Lost it on the way up, and it's Purple Rain ball.
Kansas did a better job taking care of the basketball in that third quarter, but that's been a story of this whole game. That's 16 turnovers now for the game for KU.
Sneed, top of the key three. What a rebound by Trice.
Just great effort from Austin Trice.
Trice had a key three-point play last year in the meeting between these two teams. And his been a real solid force for Purple Rain again this year. Williams picks up another foul for Purple Rain.
Good effort, good stick back.
Preston. Tapped in by Hannah.
Tell you what, it's hard to believe Hannah played Division II basketball with that body and that bounce.
Went to the Division II Final Four with Washburn a couple of years back. Williams, short, and Sneed rocks the rim.
Do that. Take it off the rim just like that. What a big-time play. Crowd engaged now.
Mason has not been able to finish inside. He is stalking Childress, who slips by Preston. And there's Trice. A big 4-point swing for Purple Rain. Batted out by Trice, a big-time block. JHX Hoops incredulous that it's not a goaltend.
Just an incredible sequence. Watch number 20, Sneed, come in over the top of multiple Jayhawks. And then another effort athletic play from Austin Trice with the block. And now Beasley is back in the game. Elam ending just around the corner. First dead ball, under 4. The clock shuts off. Getting closer and closer.
Mayo sets his feet. Loose ball and a foul on Trailer.
And a hug and a kiss to a K-State fan from Brandon Childress.
He didn't play at Kansas State,
right,
but he's making himself right at home, endearing himself to the fans.
That's one way to say it.
Alley-oop, Trice! Reckless abandon.
Man!
Trice is on a trampoline right now, elevating on the defensive side. He picks up the foul.
Boy, this fourth quarter has been all Austin Trice. How nice is this? Wow! In traffic, one hand. Ridiculous from Austin Trice.
You know, Trice was the guy at shoot-around who was walking down the scores table and saying hi to everybody.
Yes.
You know, really nice guy, but unleashed here.
Not so nice to the rim.
Oh, my goodness.
Bouncy. Good effort on the glass. Blocked the shot. Good lob there. It felt like momentum was swinging towards KU, and ever since the Sneed putback dunk, this thing has turned. Childress has been Mr. Steady, hasn't he? He just run the show. He's taking care of the ball.
Beasley off the rim. Preston. Rebound, Sneed. Beasley with a great pass from Childress and another time to Williams.
When Beasley has gotten out and beaten people down the floor, he has destroyed KU. And another dime.
It's coming back to Purple Rain. Blocking foul on Trailer.
That's all Sean Williams. He gets into the ball handler, which speeds up Mason. And you don't allow for that on-ball screen to get set. And now Bramlage Coliseum is alive and well.
About 90 seconds until the Elam ending kicks in. Turn off the game clock, play to a target score. Childress too strong. Preston on Beasley, going to the line, +1.
We said it earlier, this is a good game for Preston just from a matchup standpoint. They need his size and playmaking.
Runs like a deer.
Yes, he does.
See why he's a matchup problem given his height. Played in Mexico for Tijuana last overseas season. He's won a couple of championships in South Africa. JHX hoops lurking. Purple Rain looking for some padding before the Elam ending. Trice. A gentler finish that time.
Another great play from Brandon Childress, too, in the ball screen.
Mason in and out. Trailer saves it. Hannah. Mayo for 3. Mayo starting to find it a little bit, and the lead is 10 for Kansas State. Now here's Childress for 3. He draws the foul. Oh, wow.
Mental mistake from Trailer, who is winded. And sometimes when fatigue gets you, you make mistakes defensively, just not under control. And with the Elam ending looming now, free throws for Brandon Childress.
There was not quite enough time on the shot clock for Purple Rain to take it all the way down to under 4, call timeout, and then set up the Elam ending. But they get let off the hook by JHX hoops, and 3 untimed free throw attempts for Brandon Childress here. His first point of the game, by the way.
But that's the real mark of a great player, is can you impact the game without scoring? And Brandon Childress has done that.
Childress played for Danny Manning at Wake Forest, by the way. All-time leading scorer in Kansas basketball history. So timeout called by Kansas. We're not in Elam ending territory yet, but we're very close. Target score time just around the corner, which will be 8 points greater than the leading team's score at the first stoppage under 4 minutes.
Obviously an important possession here for KU.
We're going to step aside. One final chance for these teams to huddle up before the Elam ending kicks in. Game clock still on, but not for much longer. 72-59 coming out of a Kansas timeout. Jayhawks hoops, no doubt, trying to draw up a play here to get a little bit closer before the Elam ending begins.
Ideally a three. Keep an eye on Zeke Mayo right there. He's the guy that's gotten a lot of sets drawn up for him to get an open triple. Sneed blanketing him now. Shot by Sneed. Trying to get a little elevator door on the other side, and he blew it up.
Trice continuing to wreak havoc. Just like he did in the second half last year, Trice has come up with some huge plays offensively and defensively.
No doubt. An unsung hero, without question, has been Trice.
With Kansas trying to get back in this game, Kansas State has needed someone to step up and halt the momentum.
Robertson coming in for a foul.
Williams under 4 has got 3 for Purple Rain, so he sits. Mason, alley-oop, and it was off target, looking for Traylor. And now we're under 4 minutes, and with the ball out of bounds, we can officially set up the Elam ending. Traylor injured himself on the landing from that alley-oop attempt. He just walked off to the locker room.
Back to the locker room.
So Kansas will have to adjust its lineup for the Elam ending. Target score has been set at 80. Target score is equivalent to the leading team score plus 8, and now that we're down inside of 4 minutes to go in the game clock is turned off, and the first team to the target score, which in this case is 80 points, wins the game. So psychologically, it really changes the way that you approach a game, especially as the winning team, which in this case is Purple Rain. So if you're in the huddle, how would you approach Elam?
Well, I think the trick right now is if you're Lance Harris to say, keep doing what you're doing. And for me, as I've observed the Elam ending, you got to have a next play mentality. Right now, every possession takes on greater importance, but you got to be able to turn the page quickly. There are times where you get to within 3 points of the target score and people will think they got to take a 3. No, take the 2 points if you can get it. You do not want to get stagnant and stand and watch someone go one-on-one, and oftentimes it's the second shots that beat you in these instances. You have to rebound the basketball, but if you're Purple Rain right now, I know you just stopped and it's now officially the Elam ending. Don't let that play a trick on you. Keep on playing how you've been playing, which has been ball movement. You have 20 team assists. Keep on sharing the sugar.
Beasley lost it. The foul was called.
I'll tell you what, Chris, I have looked forward to the moment Michael Beasley committed to playing in the TBT. I have looked forward to Beasley in the Elam ending. When you think about great players to have in this sort of situation, there aren't too many better than this guy, because he can go get his own basket and create his own offense. And as we've seen, Chris, he's also a great passer. So if he attracts 2 defenders, he can find the open wildcat.
He also can go get his own, just to further elaborate on what you said, his own 2-point basket. And I know that you said teams somewhat become reliant on threes in Elam ending. Preston short. And he stepped out of bounds. Kansas State, after 2 free throws for Michael Beasley, 6 points away from a Game 1 win in this best-of-3 series.
This has got to be where you got Beasley as your closer. It's like a little 2-3 zone from KU. First wrinkle.
Alley-oop for Trice. Wow. He's dunking on everybody tonight.
What a set. You screen the top 2 guys in the zone and able to throw it up to the rim. Really good.
Mason blocked and fouled by Sneed, with Kansas State 4 points away.
Look at that set. Screen the top, 2 guys in that zone. Just really, really an excellent job of being organized based on what the defense throws at you.
Two free throws for Frank Mason. He's into double figures. Kansas State needs 4.
Back man to man now. Tried zone once, got dunked on, and now you're back man.
Childress threw an alley-oop to a ghost. Foul on Jacob Hanna.
Hanna kind of wrapped his arms around Childress. Childress did a good job. You're taught when you can get the defender on your back or on your hip, trying to keep him there, keep him in jail. And if you stop quickly, you can draw fouls.
Well, Brandon Childress does not have a shot from the floor tonight, but he's got 7 assists and 5 steals, and has really done a great job orchestrating the Purple Rain attack. All 5 of his points at the free throw line tonight, and Kansas State is 2 points away. Here's Preston. In and out, and Purple Rain can win it on this possession.
Beasley's got Frank Mason on him if you identify it.
Childress for the win. Game 1 to Purple Rain. Kansas isn't going anywhere, but Kansas State takes game 1 in this best-of-3 series.
And it's a pretty good display of sportsmanship here for these two teams, knowing they got 24 hours and they're playing game 2. Some handshakes and hugs all around, but it was a heck of a war for 4 quarters. What a really, really impressive performance from the Kansas State alumni. Sneed and Michael Beasley set the tone. Austin Trice was outstanding right before that Elam ending, which was massively important. And we're going to talk to one of the most important guys for Kansas State here shortly in Xavier Sneed.
80-61 the final score. As Nick mentioned, we have Xavier Sneed stopping by the broadcast table here after a 16-point and 8-rebound performance in Purple Rain's Game 1 win over JHX Hoops. Xavier, thanks for stopping by. Your TBT debut. What did you think of being back inside Bramlage Coliseum?
Last year I wanted to play, but I was hurt. But this year I told them guys I'm coming, and they told me, yo, we're getting to be back in Bramlage. And I got a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in here, so it's great to come back out here playing Bramlage. It's great to see the fans come out and support us, and it's just a great day to be a Wildcat, man.
We talked to Lance Harris at Shooter On. I said, who's the X factor? And he said, you, and in particular on the defensive end of the floor. You did a really nice job on Frank Mason. What was your approach on that end of the floor?
Just to be aggressive. You know, I fouled a little bit too much, but be aggressive and show what we come out here to do. When I came here and played at K-State, I was defensive-minded, still to this day, so that's always been my key to the game.
What'd you think of the Elam ending? A little bit of a different way to close out a game.
Definitely different. Good thing we were up a lot, but I think it's something good. It's something good, and it's something that makes us lock in. We practice a lot about it. We had a lot of segments where we were doing situations for how many we were up, we're down. So I think Elam's a good thing.
And last thing, what was it like playing with Michael Beasley, and what can you say about the energy he brought to the team tonight?
Beasley's a special talent, man. Everybody knows he's a special talent, and it's great that he came back and played with us. And I'm just being a sponge, learning everything I can from him. and him being here just important to us too as well. We took us a while to get him here, so it's great to have him.
Well, congratulations on the win. We'll talk to you tomorrow in Topeka.
Thank you. Thank you.
Xavier Sneed of the victorious Purple Rain stopping by after a 16.8 rebound performance. We'll take a look at the TBT bracket just because, even though no changes to the bracket tonight because this is just game one of a best-of-3 series. But tomorrow there could be.
Yeah.
Kansas State could punch its ticket through to the Alumni bracket semifinal if they knock off Kansas tomorrow night.
Well, my guess is a lot of these other alumni teams were watching this game because there was a lot of curiosity behind a certain cat. And that cat is Michael Beasley and what that was going to look like. And oh my, did he look good when he was out there. He was 100% the difference in the game, but Sneed was terrific as well. But what a lineup we got on FS1 for TBT action tomorrow. The Ville and La Familia, winner take all, and then game 2, KU K-State.
Great college basketball rivalries played out in TBT alumni bracket format. And again, you can watch both those games tomorrow on FS1. Tune into YouTube as well as the Vegas Open bracket begins. Heartfire Elite, Red Rose, War Ready, and Davis Steel versus Gotham City Bockers. But we go back to Michael Beasley's line tonight, 20 points, 6 assists, 3 blocks. A wildcat indeed.
You know he can score. I was really blown away with his passing ability and the instinctual passes. So I'm going to have some adjustments to be made for KU from game 1 to game 2 and how they want to attack Michael Beasley.
We'll talk to you down the road along I-70 tomorrow from Lee Arena in Topeka for game 2 of this best-of-3 series between Purple Rain and JHX Hoops. For my broadcast partner, Nick Baugh, our producer, Ryan McGaha, and Jess Eichhorst, our director, this is Chris Foster saying good night for now. TBT 2026 rolls on in earnest tomorrow with great action on FS1 and YouTube. Thanks for tuning in.